You know, chicken sandwiches have been the craze for the last couple of years. From Popeyes to Chick-fil-A, everyone's got one on their menu, and everyone thinks they've got the best recipe. But I'm here to show you a variation and one of my spins and takes on a killer, kicked up, fried crispy chicken sandwich that you can make right now at home with Mixmaster Michael. Starting with chicken. In this case, we are using fresh chicken breast. Next, we're going to trim and portion out our chicken. Trim off any excess fat and cut your chicken into little smaller than baseball-sized portions, and then set aside. Next, we're going to want to get a couple Ziploc bags and something heavy to pound our chicken with. You can use a meat tenderizer / mallet, or in this case, I'm using a heavy wooden rolling pin. Taking one of my Ziploc bags, I'm going to take one portion at a time, place inside the bag, not sealing the bag, and then gently, but with some force, pounding out our chicken. We want to be careful not to break the flesh, but what we're really trying to do is even out the thickness. We don't want it too thin, but we just want it to be even so that it cooks evenly. We're going to take our chicken portion out and kind of inspect it. As you can see, we have a couple little straggler pieces on the side that have broken off. We're going to want to clean those up, so we're going to get our knife and trim off those small hanging pieces and set aside. Now we've got a nice even piece of chicken portion. Go ahead and toss that inside of our second Ziploc bag, set aside, and repeat the process. Okay, it's time to make our marinade for our chicken. Starting with some buttermilk. I don't use too many measurements in my cooking, or exact measurements. In this case, I'm using 3/4 of this container. I kind of just try to eyeball it depending on how many portions I have. The next and very important ingredient is pickle juice. I have a brand new jar of pickles, and I've strained half of the liquid into another cup. Go ahead and add that pickle juice into your buttermilk. The pickle juice really helps to add that extra zing to our chicken flavor. Next ingredient is going to be some sriracha chili sauce. Depending on how spicy you like it, add as much or as little as you prefer. In this case, I'm adding about 25% of this container. It helps to spice the chicken, and it also adds that little pink hue to our marinade that's actually going to come through in the final product. Next, of course, salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add in some dried herb mix. You can use Italian seasoning, any of your favorite dried herbs. In this case, I'm using Herbes de Provence, which is my favorite blend of several different herbs. Crush them up a little bit with my hands just to break them up from the package. Go ahead and whisk these ingredients together, and our marinade is ready to roll. Next, gather all of our fresh vegetable ingredients for our condiments. We're going to start by making a quick pickle of some onions and cucumbers. In this case, I'm using fresh Parisian cucumbers, and with my mandolin, I put it on the setting that makes those cool little ridges on both sides. Tossing all my sliced Parisian cucumbers into a bowl, set aside, and get ready for my red onions. Put it in on the most thinnest setting I can get. I slice my red onions extra super thin. I love the taste of red onions, but I don't like them thick. It just adds that extra bit of flavor. And marinate them in our pickle juice is really going to mellow out the flavor. Next, we're going to make our quick pickle marinade, which is going to contain apple cider vinegar, some sugar, salt and pepper, red chili flakes, dried dill. Whisk that all together and pour over our cucumber and onions and set aside. Next, our tomatoes. Again, I like to cut my tomatoes extra thin. So using a serrated knife or a super sharp knife, get those slices extra thin. Following next is going to be our lettuce and cabbage mix. In this case, I'm using iceberg lettuce, but I also did a little romaine. And then also some purple cabbage. This adds extra crunch and it just looks cool. And there is our blend of 2 lettuces, romaine, iceberg, and our purple cabbage. It's going to really make the look of our chicken sandwich just pop. Next, we're going to make our kicked up aioli sauce, consisting of mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, sriracha once again, some Worcestershire, pepper. Whisk it all together and set that aside. Now get our brioche buns ready to be toasted. In a small bowl, I have some melted butter, some fresh garlic, and parsley. I'm brushing that on liberally on both sides of my buns, getting ready to take it over to the stove. Using a non-stick pan, and medium to low heat, I'm toasting both sides of my brioche buns. Next, we're going to mix together our dry ingredients for our seasoned dredge mix, consisting of 2 cups of flour, half a cup of cornstarch, salt and pepper, Old Bay seasoning, Creole seasoning, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, and some more of our dry herb mix. Starts the fun part of coating our chicken. We have our marinated chicken in our wet marinade, and we also have our seasoned dry dredge. This is going to be a double dredge, so we take our chicken 1 piece at a time, and with our fingers pressing in that seasoned dredge mix into the chicken. Once again, we're going to throw it back into our marinade mix and repeat the process. Get it fully coated in the marinade, shake off any excess, put it back in our dry dredge mix, and again, pressing in all that dredge onto the chicken, which is going to make it extra thick and crispy. Repeat the process with all of our portions and put that on a wire rack and set aside. Time to fry the chicken. In this case, I'm using my home deep fryer set at 350 degrees. If you don't have a deep fryer, you can easily do this on the stovetop, just making sure that you have a candy thermometer to check the temperature of the oil and that you can maintain it at 350 degrees. I'm cooking the chicken for about 6 to 8 minutes or until I reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees, doing about 1 to 2 pieces at a time. Repeating the process until all my portions are done. Okay, final step. Time to build our chicken sandwich. starting with our kicked up aioli, spread it on both sides of our garlic buttered brioche buns, a couple slices of our thin tomatoes, our homemade Parisian cucumber and red onion pickles, our lettuce and purple cabbage mixture right on top, and then of course our killer crispy fried chicken portion. Top that with our brioche top. And man, you did it. That is one killer, kicked up, crispy chicken sandwich that you made fresh at home yourself. Trust me, you're not going to miss your favorite fast food restaurants because this one has your signature on it. Until next time, I'll catch you here with Mixmaster Michael.